I'll do it in a few stages. I'm using a sponge with blue and white on it, and that's just going to form my sky. I've just picked up a little bit more paint, and I'd like to make that lighter the further I come down. This is really quick and easy. A sponge is really quick. Making sure you get plenty of paint on the sponge. And it helps to blend it really well. Alright. I'm just slowly bringing that down. And I'm going to stop about there. And we need to wait for that to dry before we can do any more. Okay, so the next step is to pop in the sea. And we've popped in some painter's tape, removable painter's tape. Doesn't leave a sticky residue on the canvas. And so what we've done is apply that just above where we finish this sky. And so this line here will become our horizon. So I'm going to continue to use the sponge for this one. So I've just dabbed some darker blue onto my sponge. And I'm going to do that from the top there. You can go right over the join line of that tape. And then we're going to, I've just dabbed it on some turquoise now. And now I've introduced a little bit of white. Because my idea is to finish the beach about here, where the sand will start. So adding the white now. And the blend just happens naturally if we keep going along that line. Okay, now just a heap of white there. The issue I am having is the blue is still on my sponge, so it's still coming through a bit. Alright, now I'm picking up a bit of a sand colour, which you can make out of chocolate brown and white, but not much chocolate brown, and then just add a dash of yellow. Just the tiniest dash. I'm just starting that there. And I might make this a little bit, making sure that the blue is still a little bit wet. It's actually a good idea for that to be wet here. And I'm just creating a few of those sort of swirly looks. Right, it's coming together. Okay, so my paint is still wet, but I'm not going to be touching the canvas very hard. So now I'm just introducing white on the sponge. A thick white is probably better. And I'm going to go along that shoreline there with the sponge, just light dabs, quite random, but just along that edge, picking up a bit more. And I'm going to pop a couple through here as well. And then lastly one up here. And while there's just not much left on my sponge, I'm going to just lightly dab it in the sand so it looks like sea foam. Okay, and at this point we could probably take our tape off. When using tape, it's really important to just get the edge, that top edge, quite firm when you stick it down. Otherwise it weeps through, like you might be able to see there a little bit. It's weeped through a little bit. But we can always touch that up. So I'm actually just picking up that light blue again. I'm going to touch that up now. Alright, and just from the top, I'm just lightly going over that and the light blue that matches that one. You can see how effective that is with a straight line. Got my cat in the corner helping itself to its dinner. Right. And the last thing I'm going to do is add a few clouds. Now, you probably saw in my other demo how I did clouds with sponges. Today I'm going to do some cumulo nimbus clouds. So I'm using a light blue, and I'm just with quite a dry brush. Okay, so this is just a touch. It's actually it's hardly light blue, it's more white. But it's not real white. So it's just focusing on the top of the clouds. We're just doing that top curve. And the bottom of the cloud is quite flat. So it's pushing the white to the top. And then every time you pick up some more white, pop that up the top of the cloud. Pop it up the top and make that curve happen there. Picking up more white and just adding it to the top. Right, and then you sort of blend through the bottom of the cloud. Now we can also make 2 layers of cloud. So if I pick up the white here and make that a top of a cloud, that a top of a cloud there. And then as we work towards the bottom of the clouds, that's where the blue can come back in, because essentially it just blends in with the background here. Okay, I'll do a couple more over here. Might do a nice high one. So it's that circular motion, getting the paint to the top of the cloud. And every time I pick that up, I'm making that to the top. Really random. And you can play with this for a long time if you want. Right, and I'm just going to smooth that off and introduce that light blue back so that it smooths in with the background there. So there's a taster of cumulo nimbus clouds. You can even go back to a smaller brush, because that one's quite a big brush. And sometimes you see in the sky there's a big lot and then there's a little lot underneath. So let's just do that here. So pushing the white to the top of the cloud and then just flattening that through the bottom there. So it blends in. There you go, so we've got a couple of layers. I like the ones that really stick up the top and they look so white. So let's really bring those white ones in. Just keep going around in circles. Okay, might just fix this up over here because it looks a bit odd. Hope you get the gist of that. Okay, there you go. Thanks for watching.